working.
Yeah.
It's not so bad actually, all fitting. Right, what is going on Facebook? So I thought on the way down, us three, Elliot, you know Alice, this is Will.
Special guest.
Yeah, special guest Will. So on the way down we're going down to Genesis now in London, because if you've been watching the vlogs and the Facebook and our Instagrams, you know that we're all competing in a few weeks' time. So driving down to Genesis to squat. So we thought on the way down, we'd just do a video on all things lifting, because between us, I've been lifting now for 10 years, I think.
8 years.
Yeah, exactly. And Will? 18 years.
18.
So between us, I'm not even going to try and add that up because I'm shit at maths, but between us we've got a lot of years of experience of lifting in this car, and we've probably done a lot of things, well, not probably, 100% done a lot of things wrong, and we've probably done everything that you guys are doing, we've probably done. So, because I've competed now, how many times have you competed?
What, yeah.
Bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman.
Yeah, loads of stuff. Don't know, probably like 20 odd shows, 20, 30 shows of each, really, probably.
Yeah, exactly. I've done probably roughly 10 of them. And what are you on, Will?
I think it's probably around about 14, 15 in total between them all.
Yeah, there we are. So,
strongman.
Yeah, exactly. So between us, we've competed in bodybuilding, strongman, powerlifting. What else?
You ever competed competitively in anything CrossFit?
Nah, no CrossFit.
No.
Secretly, but I don't let anyone know about that.
That's a private.
Yeah, you don't talk about that like you don't talk about Trying Tuesday, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
Keep
Yeah.
that
So, but yeah, between us, we've done a lot. So we thought we'd chat to you about all things lifting, really, and just go from there.
Modern day lifting.
Modern day lifting, yeah. So we'll probably start at the beginning, really. And what got you into lifting? For me personally, what got me lifting, rugby. And then just because I was tiny.
Yeah, similar to me actually.
I was just always a small person. So for me to do something, I thought I'd lift. And then there was a gym at work, so I started lifting. And then realised that actually I was alright at it. It stopped me fucking going into town and beating people up. It didn't stop me fighting, it kept me in. So for me, lifting, and obviously it's created my career, all of ours career, lifting has.
And discipline.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Discipline, definitely.
Discipline's a massive thing. Yeah.
I was the same. I was not a great kid, not very focused. Just sports and things like that would keep me focused. Music, really. And then going to the gym, 17 started. So that was kind of the age where, kids are drinking, kids are going out doing stuff, and it's just, and trouble starts.
Yeah.
Like drugs, drinking, that kind of stuff. So definitely. But you tagged me this morning something, Will. That picture of He-Man.
Because I'm a what?
No, He-Man. You tagged me that picture on Instagram this morning.
But the carbs.
The carbs, yeah.
The carbs. Elliot's already got them.
Do you know what? That's the big influence on me is superheroes and cartoons.
Superheroes are a lot of people.
All the superheroes are completely jacked.
They're all massive.
Yeah, exactly. All of them, like Ninja Turtles and Dragon Ball Z, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Batman, he's a big lad now.
Yeah. They're all cheating the drug tests.
Yeah.
But exactly. But being surrounded by heroes that look like that, and they're like pretty big guys or whatever. But yeah.
Did you have any direct influences in your lives?
I'd say
a dad to an uncle that was jacked up in shape, anything like that?
My dad was a rugby player. Like when I was growing up, he tried to force me into it as a skinny little kid, and I didn't really like it at first. But I got more and more stuck into it. But seeing him being a big guy, when he bulked up and stuff, and he was into it, and then again his brother, my uncle, he was a small guy, and then he did something naughty, so he got put away. But he changed his life by getting big in the prison, and he did a few powerlifting competitions and whatever, and he was a big guy. So both of them big influences. My uncle, my mum's side of the family,
he's a big lifter, isn't he?
He's a lifter, but he's also a fitness guy. But he's more just on like marathons and stuff like that.
And your dad?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, my dad. Yeah, my dad now changed over from being like that. He was, but he was more my influence on him, seeing me bodybuilding and in shape and really focused. That now he's mad, what do we call them? Obstacle course races. Yeah, OCR. So like massive, 20, 30 mile obstacle race runs. I don't know, it's absolute nutter. But yeah, that's what I mean.
I failed to walk from.
He's in his 40s and like fitter than most people at their peaks in their 20s. So, but that's from my influence. But now it's inspirational for me to see that. So it's really cool.
I couldn't run to the corner shop.
You overweight?
I couldn't run to the corner shop and his dad's doing 20 mile obstacle.
I couldn't run to the corner shop either.
Actually, we've got to have that little thing race. I said the other day, little race. I want to see what we can do 100 metres in.
See what Fitness Works staff can run 100 metres in.
Without dying.
Personally, I think I'm going to tear my hamstring.
That's a good start.
Yeah,
I've got a friend that did that.
I'm gonna have private tuition.
Yeah, private sprint tuition.
Yeah, with see what Niall can teach me.
Yeah, Niall's going to win though, isn't he? So Niall's got those fast twitch fibres.
Genetics.
I won't go too far, yeah. But yeah, so that's how we started basically. But I don't know, what advice would you give to a beginner?
Like looking back, like
yeah, that's what I mean. Looking back now, what would you change from?
I didn't have too much kind of. I talked to a few people, but like I said, in the gym that I was at the time, there was a few people who would help out a little bit, and then other people that didn't have time. So looking back, they were my age now. So when there's people coming to Fitness Works, younger than young lads, I have all the time in the world for them, because I've always felt disappointed when I asked someone a question and they didn't answer back.
There's a lot of people in that gym with that.
Yeah, so
I know what you're on about. I won't say names and stuff.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
Fair,
so it's just like, oh, you'll never get big. You'll never amount to anything. You know, you haven't got the genetics for it. All that kind of stuff. You know, just tear you down, rather than turn around and be like, do you know what? I'll show you how to do this exercise. Crack on with it. That'll get you big. Yeah. But basic as anything. Basic's always been worked for years. So
basics
why not?
Works, don't it? Just the that's what I was going to say. Yeah. For me personally, if I was going to say to a lad that walked to the gym now at 16 years old, actually even younger than that, our place, they come in at 14 and they ask what to do. It's just the basics well. That's it. Diet, basics well. Lift the basics well.
Yeah, that's it. Lift the basics well. That's all you do. And I'd give them all the time in the world to show them if they can't deadlift properly, or can't do a dip, or can't do a push-up properly. Anything as simple as that. And they're struggling with it. I'll tell them what to do to get around it. But
yeah, learn the. We say all the time: learn squats, bench, deadlift, overhead press. Learn those 4 things.
Yeah. Just get a comfortable routine you know you can stick to. That's not going to kill you. Not going to take too long. Not going to lose interest in.
And do you know one thing I wish I'd learned back then? Don't have to train 7 days a week.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I was 7 days a week.
Yeah, I was
1 to 2 hours a day.
That's one thing I did wrong.
Train too much.
I love training. Yeah. I love training certain body parts that were stronger, and I'd not overtrain, but I'd just focus on them to get stronger at them, rather than focusing on the overall foundations.
Yeah, the exercises you don't like.
And resting and nutrition.
Yeah.
So like 19 years old, I had an okay physique on me now. An okay physique on me by then. Been lifting 2 years, probably about 14 stone. You know, probably could bench 45 kilo dumbbells, squat 180 kilograms, that kind of stuff. I had a good base. And but looking at kids these days that come to our gym, they're 16, 17, and they're better.
They're better already, aren't they? Well, some of them are smashing out 160 kg deadlifts at 16, 17 years old.
That's what I mean, because their Instagram's a good thing, Facebook and YouTube, so they've had more interest.
We'll come on to girls, don't worry.
That's it.
I was going to actually bring girls up to
more interest and basically sticking to it. But yeah,
it is just the basics well, and coming on to girls. The girls now are obviously finding a big interest in lifting.
Definitely.
Girls have pulled away from Zumba classes and I'm not going to say shitty classes, but they're pulled away from Les Mills, because Les Mills doesn't make you look like they want to look. So for any girl out there, it's just throw yourself in at the deep end. That's my advice.
100%.
Just throw yourself in. Go to a gym like ours. If you're not from around here, don't go to find a gym like ours and do the basics well again.
Find a partner who knows how to lift, or find a PT that knows.
Find a partner that knows how to lift.
A training partner.
Training partner.
So make sure your boyfriend lifts.
Make sure
to be fair, make sure your boyfriend lifts, because you don't want a girlfriend.
You don't want to.
It shouldn't really differentiate.
Or get a Will. He's both.
Yeah.
Thank you. It shouldn't really differentiate between the genders, and no excuse in my ambiguity with my gender. When I started, I was 14, coming from a completely different background than these two. Thin kids will have put a lot of mass. I had a lot of mass already, but I had a lot of body fat. I was already 6'3" at 14. But the goal for me was to be in shape like my brother was in shape. It was the opposite for me. I wanted abs, but I wanted to look like a superhero, much like we all did. But I had a lot of 80s and early 90s bodybuilding icons as my influence, and the biggest one was Bob Paris. The main thing that I wish I'd done differently was complete consistency and a complete plan, hitting the ground running. I sort of did, but it would have been brilliant if I had a father figure in place that was managing it, just making sure that I was hitting all my goals. And the biggest thing for me, by the time I hit 17 and I chose to do my first bodybuilding competition, that led on to a lot of periodic diets, and I pretty much spent the bulk part of the prime years of my growth dieting, and it was running the anabolism. The only reason that I put on as much muscle as I did was my genetics. But I ruined so much growth potential in those prime 3-4 years.
It's a fine line, isn't it?
Huge culprit for men and boys and girls. Like just obsession with diets.
Like to me personally, if I remember that lad. There was a lad that came into reception about probably 5 or 6 months ago and asked me about. Remember the young lad that asked me about dieting and losing weight to get lean, and I'd give him no advice. I was like, no, 16, 15, no, 14, sorry.
Jesus.
And I was like, no, don't worry about dieting till you are 20. I would say 20 years old. You don't need to fucking have abs at 18 years old. You don't need that.
We just said find love in a sport, and get strong, and get fit.
Build exactly.
If you're grossly obese and it's in the health professional's interest to enable you to lose body fat, or as their mums would like to call them, big bones, like mine did with me back in the day.
Big bones.
Yes. At that point I can understand getting the body fat down for health reasons.
Yeah, health reasons.
If you're trying to make yourself malnourished, get out an 8-pack at age 14 to 18, or do a competition. I appreciate junior bodybuilding, I realise that, but I would discourage anybody that considers doing it. The platform will always be there. Don't waste the prime years of your youth where you're naturally on steroids anyway, just because of testosterone.
So I
do not diet around that.
And it's just you're only 16 to 20 once in your life. You don't want to be fucking eating chicken and broccoli for those 4 years just to look like a malnourished kid, because you haven't got the muscle underneath to show anything. You may look, you put clothes on, you're still going to look like your mate.
It wasn't until I was like 21 that when I dieted down I actually looked like I had some solid dense muscle, and that was after 4.5 years of solid training. Do you know what I mean?
So you're still natural at that point at 21?
Possibly.
Undisclosed at that stage.
that was around the borderline time, you know. So, that's what I mean. So 4 years of hard, training anyway to build that foundation, that solid base. So I was already like squatting and deadlifting 200 kilograms for reps, and I was already overhead pressing 80 kilos for reps. So I had a good solid foundation. I was about 14 stone, quite lean body. Do you know what I mean? So,
and that's when I think you start looking at other routes to making training and introducing training, like different training kind of periodization of platforms and stuff after you've built up to that foundation. It's like a lot of people come in the gym and overcomplicate everything.
Definitely.
You don't need to.
When you see a kid come in like 17 years old, whatever, and he's only been training for 6 months, and he spends a whole workout focusing on flies and rear delts and
squeezing
incredibly unclean routines. They just come in and they're chopping and changing. They're going, I work on the instinctive principle. I just do what I feel like. The issue with doing that is you never know where you are. How do you make progress?
You can't track anything.
Exactly. You don't know if enough intensity is there to pass what you were doing before.
Exactly.
Completely different.
And like you just said, then they're not sticking to a routine. They're saying, Steve Cook's doing this.
I watched his vlog and he's doing this and that.
And he's doing this. I'm going to follow Steve Cook. 3 weeks later, they're like, I like Jerry Buendina, whatever his name is, Mr. Olympia. They're like, I love his chest. I'm going to do his chest routine. I'm going to have pecs just like him, like Mr. Olympia. I'm following his flat bench for six sets of 8.
These big programs.
Man.
But the thing is, they're
losing where they are. They're losing where they are with the strength, with the exercises, with the form. They're losing exactly where they are.
Because these boys are grafted in the background. They haven't gone on a big program, and they haven't gone on a lean program, and they don't look like that at 30 years old. They're fucking grafted
for 10 years.
At least 10 years. and then they can start selling these.
And they've got fantastic genetics. They've got absolutely crazy genetics. So
and genetics brings on to genetics, because everyone thinks like, oh, genetics have a big play in everything. But me, I've got shit genetics for growing muscle. I am what you call, and you are. Yeah. We are what you call hard gainers.
Hard gainers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, basically an ectomorph.
Ectomorph, yeah.
So both these guys literally consume twice what I do, and they're leaner than I am.
Yeah, and we're lighter than you are. Yeah.
Like
body weight. So.
He eats more than me. But I eat 5 to 6 hours a day, and he's over 7. And most people who eat that would be fat as hell. But like, some days I lose weight.
Yeah.
So like, that's one thing is. Genetics, some 16, 17-year-olds get put off, so I haven't got the genetics. I don't look like Mr. Olympia at 18. Fucking hell, I'm 10 years on. I'm
eating everything. I can't physically eat anymore. We write down their diet, how much they're eating. It's 2,000 calories. We're like, dude, you're a young guy.
Yeah, smash diet.
Very slim. Man. You're training every day. You'll do football 4 times a week. Yeah, you're burning.
PE, you've got
this. You've got PE 4 times.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, you're burning so many calories. You're eating 2,000 a day. You're not eating enough. No. You need to reduce your output. You need to reduce your output.
Reduce your output and increase your input.
Stand there for things said it the best, I believe. It goes, don't run if you can walk, don't walk if you can stand, don't stand if you can sit, don't be awake if you can sleep. That's literally it.
And he is a big dude.
Yeah, whatever you think you're eating, do it.
Yeah. I agree with a lot of his principles. He always says that if he wants to lose weight or put on weight, the first thing he changes is his movement. Yeah. So his exercise output.
Like he does 10 minutes a day at the moment, doesn't he, walking? I think he does 10 minutes twice a day over a walk.
Yeah, and then just sets of 15 or 20 on his exercises rather than 10 to 12.
20s,
just to move a bit more, and then burn his calories. He's dropping a pound a week of body fat.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Boom, done.
Yeah, it is. It's like, it brings kind of like from the beginning to more intermediate kind of women. There's focus on women and weight loss. This is one of my pet hates because
I was just about to say about
it's I say it all the time, it's one of the easiest things in the world to lose weight. You eat less and move more, which is true. Obviously, if you've got some medical condition, then sometimes that's not necessarily true. But majority of the time, if you eat less, it's going to eat more then. Eat less and move more. You're going to lose weight. It's science.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where the calories come from, what quality they are.
Yeah, what quality. What doesn't matter.
You're just keeping less into your body, and you're exercising more than you were. You're going to see some kind of change.
And it's consistency in this as well, because men and women do this.
They do, but
men do as well. Eat 1,000 calories a day. But by the time of the weekend, that's when the chocolates, that's when the crisps, that's where the bottles of wine, that's where the Sunday meals.
And we never condone that, but just in control.
Yeah, in control. I don't believe that any diet should be restricted from anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that isn't life. Like you can't. You need to eat dinner at the weekend. You need to eat out. You need to drink wine. Like I just said,
live your life.
Yeah, you've got to live your life. Like between 16 and 18, the whole life you should eat what you want to a certain extent.
I don't think I've had a weekend where I've eaten a strict diet or whatever for about 3 years.
No.
3 years, because even when I was dieting, I still look forward to having a cheat meal on the weekend. So I think I did one strict diet where I didn't have cheat meals, and I looked like utter crap and lost way too much muscle mass.
Yeah.
So it just proves. And my stress levels were up here because I just didn't enjoy life for that time.
I was doing it, but at the same time, we didn't have Instagram, we didn't have Facebook, we didn't have a multitude of so much free information being shared. When I started doing it when I was a teenager, because we're talking like the early 2000s.
I used to walk to the gym with my Flex magazine. Do you know what I mean? Ready to copy Phil Heath's, Kai Green's
arm workout.
Yeah, I was there, man. I'm going to have 22s in no time.
So when you guys were doing these preparation diets, because we've been talking how to lose body fat for the general man, the general woman, people that are wanting to get in shape for competitions, when you were considering your first competitions and getting in shape, what advice was really to hand for you as far as the nutrition is concerned? Where did you look into? Did you get coaches? Did you go on forums?
You probably touched on it a little bit, because I first dieted. Remember when I don't think you would. No, you might have just done Mr. Coventry, and I was doing the UK BFF Midlands junior.
Oh yeah.
So my first show I was 20, so that's 7 years ago, and No. Do you know how I dieted for that show? Ketogenic. I know you do.
Yeah, I do.
But fuck me. Ketogenic diet, no offence to Will, some people it works for, is the worst diet I've ever done in my life.
For a hard gainer.
For a hard gainer.
Yeah. Don't recommend it.
Don't recommend it. Like, ketogenic diet is shit. But some people, and for medical reasons, I like the ketogenic diet, but that was where I got my advice from.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding.com, one of the forums, someone said diet ketogenic because you burn fat. I was like, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Endomorphs will benefit from it, but ectomorphs would not. But you didn't know that at the time. You thought, I'm going to get shredded the quickest way possible.
Yeah, quickest way possible.
Yeah.
And it was like, I read all these forums, you're burning fat all night, you wake up in the morning, you don't have carbs, you can have fucking double cream, you can have cheese, you can have Caesar salad sauce,
I love it.
and you're going to get shredded. So I dieted like that. I dieted on chicken, Caesar salad dressing, Parmesan cheese and mayo.
Mayonnaise, yeah.
And I look like I look crap. But I've learned.
You were just
from
flat
that.
and stringy.
I was flat and stringy, didn't have no muscle.
Exactly what I did for my first show, but I did it a bit different. I found Rich Gaspari's 2-week out diet.
2-week out diet.
Right.
2 week out. 2 weeks shredded.
Is that
what you started?
No, I started at 12 weeks out, and I followed a 2-week out diet for 12 weeks.
Alright. For 12
So
weeks.
yeah.
Alright.
So if anyone knows Rich Gaspari, go and Google him, Rich Gaspari bodybuilding, and you'll see he's covered in veins. He's absolutely
shredded.
freaky.
Yeah, he was the first guy that brought in that classic conditioning, 90s conditioning.
He had like lines on his glutes,
Yeah.
and I
Straight
said I need to look like this because I'm not very big. I need to look like this if I want to do well. So I was like, I need to look like this. So I was like, let's go for it. Bear in mind, I was only about 13 and a half stone anyway, bulked up, and I was quite watery and bloated for a kid. So I went on this 2-week diet for 12 weeks, did not touch a cheat meal or nothing. It was literally just like about 50 grams of carbs, about 30 grams of fat, and about 300 grams of protein a day for 12 weeks.
That might be the worst diet in the world.
And I just, about 4 weeks into it, I looked good. Everyone's like, oh, you changed it pretty well. I was like, yeah, still loads more to come off. I just kept
Smashing
dieting.
the Stairmaster.
Yeah, there's a good hour, 2 hours cardio day in it as well.
Yeah, when I was 17, right before I attempted to do the British finals for BMBF, I was doing 3 hours of cardio a day.
Yeah.
Did you? 3
I was doing
hours?
An hour and a half in the morning on the Stairmaster while I was just playing the video game.
Hour and a half.
An hour and a half at night as well.
Wow. I remember I went up 15 minutes the other day.
Mate, I reckon last time I did it, I bought those Stairmasters at FitnessWorks for my first warm-up for that last show. I was like, we need Stairmasters. Stairmasters get you shredded. Every bodybuilder does Stairmasters. With people like Thingy Lansford, Romain Lansford, and people like Kai Green and those boys, you know, like
Jose Raymond.
They were like smashing out Stairmaster every day. I was like, I need a Stairmaster. So I bought 2 Stairmasters. Probably cost me £9,000 in 2 Stairmasters. I reckon I've done 7 steps. Never been back on it. I'm like, fuck this, I ain't using this.
When I weighed 108 for the BPU Brits, I shouldn't get to under 100. I jumped to it. In 15 minutes, I came off it, and I had quad DOMs for like 2 days. 15 minutes
up
on
for
it.
that.
You had what for 2 days?
Quad DOMs.
Oh, quad.
Yeah, DOMs in my
it's awful,
quads.
Yeah, it's awful.
Just because I hadn't touched one since bodybuilding days. But even when I was bodybuilding, I never went 4.5 an hour with them.
Nah, I don't think you need to. Like, that's another thing, isn't it? Like, everyone thinks cardio.
Well, that's the moral of the
cardio.
story. I did my first diet when I was 18. I did my first diet when I was 18, wanting to look like Rich Gaspari. And I said, without being too big-headed, in the future, by 22, 23, for those 2 shows, I did look like Rich Gaspari condition.
Yeah, you were shredded.
I was shredded. So I did have lines on my glutes, veins everywhere. And like I said, so I did want to look like that, and I finally got there, but it took more than just one diet.
It took more than a little bit of steps.
And it took a lot. It took a lot more freaking carbs. I remember I started my last diet on 500 grams of carbs a day.
I was just about to go into this, carbohydrates, right?
Yeah.
So we just said about
men and women.
Yeah, we just said about ketogenic diets for fat loss. Again, like you said, if you've got high body fat percentage, I would say 30% plus. I don't think there's a place for a keto.
Oh, there we go. Back on that.
Yeah, so I don't think if you've got a high body fat percentage, so you're looking at what, 30 plus, then I don't think there's any place for a ketogenic diet unless there's for medical reasons, because obviously there is reasons why you go on a ketogenic
or
diet
just a
nowadays.
really short-term diet, like two, 3 weeks at most, like you do for your comps.
Yeah, you do them. Like, but carbohydrates are king to anything. So personally, to me, they make I think you were the person really. Because I was all low carb for many shows, and then you were probably one of the first around here to be smashing carbs, weren't you?
Yeah. I was
Fats were really low.
Fat's always reasonably low. As I said, I would have just like a steak or a salmon meal and then like coconut oil, so just like really beneficial fats. Be around 50 grams or something to say I was going to have high carbs, but I said I was eating Cocoa Pops and all that kind of stuff or whatever, and high carb days eating burgers just high carbs and high fat foods on my refeed days before it was cool.
Something
because exactly.
Before it was cool, now it's just a cool thing.
Now it's just everyone does it like that. Oh man, my Cocoa Pops bars keep so full.
Now it's kind of getting a competition of who can eat more carbs than who, which isn't necessarily
who can eat the most carbs thing. And get leaner. But that's what we get around to carb cycling.
Yeah.
That's what we did. So, for example, my carb cycle diet was 300 grams, 300 grams, 700 grams. Bear in mind my body fat was about 9-10% by now. So this is what I remember really. My fat stayed the same on those days, and my protein slightly adjusted to match the calories. So it got a little bit lower when I had higher carbs to refeed, because it would normally be a rest day, or I'd start it after a training session. So that's what I mean. So I'd double my carbs once or twice a week to refuel my body, regenerate it. So if there's any guys that want to build muscle but stay lean, this is the way to do it. Or any girls that want to increase their curvature of their body, whatever, muscle mass and whatever, carb cycling is the way to go. If you see these girls or whatever, they've got a nice body, whatever, she must eat nothing.
They eat a lot.
You're the opposite. These guys are like force feeding themselves to try and build a bigger legs, bigger bum, whatever it is. So
that's what I did.
Because they train a lot.
Yeah, they train loads. I had 4 days. I had a different. Did you have medium, high, and low?
I didn't. I just had literally like a low, and a high, low, high, or low, high, something like that.
You consider 300 grams low?
Yeah.
I did go down to 200 for like the last week or two or something like that, but I reduced my cardio. So I had it all planned out. Do you mean it took me 5 years to learn my body?
Yeah.
I've never had a coach. I had a couple of close eyes that I could trust, who I'd send pictures to every morning, whatever, and they'd give me an opinion if I looked flat or needed to lean out or whatever, or needed to get a bit fuller. But I said I would always coach myself because I know my body, I learnt my body.
Yeah.
So it took me 5 years.
And you're shredded.
I wanted to get shredded.
That is the way. That's basically what you need to do. There is no magic diet for you.
No.
It's learning over years and years. I now know I'm similar to him. So for my last show, I dieted very similar to Al, where my high days were like 500-600 grams, and my low days were 300 grams.
Yeah.
And that's about as low as I'd go.
Yeah, so we still
I stayed full, and I didn't get shredded to him. I got lean, I got shredded, but
still
I didn't.
Subs like 7-6% body fat.
Yeah, exactly. So I was still pretty shredded.
Very lean. So.
Very lean, yeah. But that's when your body needs it, because then all of a sudden you have 600 grams, and you're thinking, oh shit, I'm gonna be wow fat tomorrow. I'm gonna be bloated. Fucking no chance.
Your body just burns.
Your body is screaming for food, and you wake up the next day, and it's like painful some days, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're like painful that you're that like your body's just like crying for for food, isn't it?
I mean, you go and train where you get a really, really good pump, so you know your body uses it, but then you go back to how you were feeling, like
it's just shit again. Yeah.
so you know how your body uses it.
This is obviously the extremes, though, guys. This isn't what I recommend doing on a daily basis.
Yeah, this is competition talk.
This is competition talk, but on a daily basis, you kind of need to take these aspects of bodybuilders and powerlifters, because even though people think bodybuilders and powerlifters are meatheads, like I guarantee you, in this car now, we know a lot more about diets and human bodies than your local dietitian who's trying to sell you aloe vera and fucking Weight Watcher tablets.
Wheat germ for your gut.
Yeah, like we know a lot
Smoothies.
more about actual practical dieting and real life dieting than most dietitians out there. I'm not saying that dietitians don't know what they're on about, but most dietitians stick to the NHS guidelines, the government guidelines.
Yeah, or they've just studied. They've studied one book, and it's their Bible, and that's all they believe. There's nothing else that matters.
And the guidelines, I think, were done as far back as nearly in the war.
Yeah.
So some of the daily allowances of nutrients and foods were done that long ago. The times have changed, and we're still sticking to them.
Yeah.
So.
How to keep off the Black Plague.
Yeah, basically it is. You need
apple cider vinegar in the morning.
Oh mate, apple cider vinegar is the new craze.
Yeah, that's it. You've got to have it, or you're going to get the Black Plague, mate.
Yeah, basically. So it's just trying to learn your body and find out what works for you, and taking bits of everybody's diet and putting it together for yours.
Yeah.
But whatever works for you. But these crash things and these like I said, Weight Watchers and Slimming World, they do work to a certain extent, and I'm not going to sit there and slate them and just shout at people about doing them, because there's a lot of people out there who will.
But the simple strategy behind them is that you're just putting overall lower calories and better calories in your body than you were.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's basically what they've sold you for this X amount of money. They've just told you how to like
lose a bit, eat less.
Everyone's got a diet. They've just tweaked yours to be a bit better, or just contain less calories overall. That's what it is.
The issue I have with a lot of these structured diet, like the Dukan diet as an example, and there's
which one?
Cambridgeshire diet, which involves a lot of juice. They're essentially asking you to reduce all of your carbohydrate, maybe keep some fibrous carbohydrate in there, but they ask you to take away all your starches and low residual fatty foods. So they're asking you to have like tuna, very lean steak, chicken. These are things that are going to go through your gastric tract really, really fast.
Yeah,
you're going to drop an awful lot of glycogen.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that the glycogen
and they're not very calorific.
In the body. You're going to drop water as well. You might even drop muscle.
You will drop muscle.
So all you're going to notice is, woo, 10 pounds the first week, but it's okay because the set's going to slow down, but I know it's going to go like this.
I bet if you go in the gym in 2 weeks' time, you ain't going to be pressing the same weight.
Yeah, you ain't going to be deadlifting.
Yeah, you're not going to have the same energy levels.
There's a massive difference between losing weight and losing fat.
Yeah, you need to concentrate on losing fat.
100%.
Mass, fat
say
mass.
that again. So there's a big difference between losing weight and losing fat. That's it.
Like, scales are shit. There's many people out there who says, unless you're hitting weight for competition, unless you're a boxer, unless you're a fighter, unless you're a fucking jockey, unless you're a bodybuilder, powerlifter, we are classes. Then scales are very useful because no matter what, we have to get into that weight. Yeah. But for Susan, who's trying to lose a few pounds to get into a fucking Christmas dress, it doesn't matter if you weigh 75 kilos or 85 kilos.
Yes, Susan.
As long as you can get in that dress. So to me, that's all that matters. Yeah. So you don't need to.
Exactly. She looks good, feels good, and her energy levels are good. That's really what matters. That's why you want a good balanced diet.
I'll have women, and I've certainly had clients that didn't care how much stronger they were, how much better the backside looked, how much the fact that the midsection was getting tighter and toned. They actually put on some muscle while I was training them. Yeah. But they were losing their mind because the scales went up. I remember one in particular. I'm not going to say her name. But I actually took her from 300 calories a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Bear in mind, she was a model and she used to work with horses, and she gave herself a stroke. I also learnt as well, amidst all this over-exuberant activity she had at a very mild amount of calories, she tried to at least do the same amount of calories, 300 a day. I quadrupled it slowly over time.
Yeah, you have to have it slowly.
We experimented very briefly with ketogenic, just to the fact that she really wanted to try it. It didn't work, so I actually reversed things. Took the fats really low, very temporarily, had the carbohydrates high. Don't recommend that for a long period of time. And she was starting to look amazing. But because she had a degree of dysmorphia, and bear in mind her squat had gone from an empty bar to 60 kilograms for sets of 10, and you build glutes when you do that, don't you?
Yeah.
You have no strength and it shoots up over weights.
I thought you build glutes going kickbacks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Kickbacks only.
Kickbacks.
Fucking kickbacks.
But the thing is, 300 calories, I don't care who you are as an adult, that is a dangerous level of calories to be taking in.
Like
babies don't even eat 300 calories, man. I swear babies inside of, an unborn baby inside a mother's stomach doesn't even eat 300 calories.
Yeah, exactly.
Honest to God.
So if you're an adult doing it, you think you're going to lose that fat that way, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, you are. You are an idiot. Like, basically, he just summed it up. You're a fucking idiot.
If someone's been doing it takes a while for the body chemistry to actually reset itself again and the hormones to balance out. So no, you're not going to be dropping the ideal 2 pounds a week. Your body just needs to sort its goddamn levels out.
I think the lowest calories I've had any of my female clients on in the past, say, 5 years is probably 1,200.
Yeah, which you get for how long? Like, you're not going to.
Not even that long, really. No. And that was just to get the initial bit off because they were under eating anyway. So I actually bumped their calories up to that 1,200.
Just about to say, sometimes that's higher than most anyway.
And as soon as they started training a bit more and whatever, they were like, "Oh, I'm quite hungry all the time," blah blah. And we bumped it back up, and then after that, they didn't even care because they were training good, and by then they were looking all right. So
after a while, it does just take a bit of time to.
When they first saw it on a piece of paper, I shouldn't even write the calories down overall, but when they saw a bit of paper, that's quite a lot of food.
Yeah, people get shocked at how much clean food they can actually put away.
But then within 2 weeks, they're like, I'm starving all the time.
Yeah, they're like, well, now I've got to give you some more.
I was like, there you go.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because you write down 1,200 calories. Because majority of people out there, I reckon, 75% of people who come to you now, or come to me, come to anyone in this car, they're on less than 1,000 calories. without a doubt, and every woman,
or at the very least
on a weekday, on a busy day, too busy for my health.
Yeah,
day.
I guarantee you.
Too busy for energy.
I guarantee you, lady, if you're 23 stone, no, there's a good chance that overall across the week you are not under eating. There's a good chance you are Monday to Friday, and then you're going off the deep end Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, well, I know, because that's what's comical. People come to you, and I'm eating so little, and they show you a food diary. It's like 12, not even 1,200 calories. I'm just not losing weight. There's no chance in hell any of you are coming to us eating 1,200 calories and not losing weight. It's not possible.
No.
Like, just stop bullshitting. You're eating too much.
Yeah. Just write down what you really
get My
eat.
Fitness Pal out and have a bit of a look.
You know, Secret Eaters is a program for a reason. They do exist.
They do exist. There's a lot of you out there.
Yeah,
right.
One of them.
We're going to go to services now and eat calorific foods. What I'll do after we've eaten on the final little trip, I might do another one and we can chat all things powerlifting.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because we haven't spoke about powerlifting. I know we spoke about diets, we spoke about bodybuilding, we spoke about weight loss, but we'll go on to powerlifting because I thought we'd only chat for a little bit. To be honest, we've been chatting loads.
But anyone watching, whatever, comment on the bottom what you want to hear us talk about.
Yeah,
we can fit on the next one if you want.
We'll fit on the next little leg of the journey.
What we think
so
of it.
peace for a bit.